Kathleen Wang, my most memorable winter getaway. My most memorable winter getaway, Kathleen Wang.
From here, but I've noticed that a lot of people who are originally from Minnesota like to cope with winter a very special way. They sometimes try to do a little winter getaway to a warm location, help breaks up the long winter months. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and welcome guest, tonight I'm going to share with you my most memorable winter getaway from Minnesota. Now, my family is currently living in California, and I've been here by myself for the last 10 years or so. They moved away from Minnesota to a warmer location since I graduated from high school. So every year is a tradition for me to get away from Minnesota, visit in sunny California. But my most memorable one was actually a trip to Cancun, Mexico, in December 2011. So you might be thinking, what's so memorable about that, other than maybe the warm weather, the sandy beaches? Well, you might not be able to tell by looking at me, but I am a huge Minnesota Vikings fan. So you guys might have your own thoughts about the Vikings and everything, but what was really memorable about that one was I was so much of a fan that I actually decided to enter myself in the Miller Lite Ultimate Fan Contest a couple of years ago. Now, I found about this contest on the Vikings website, and they're looking for the biggest fan out there in Minnesota, and basically you have to submit a photo and tell them why you're a big fan. So I thought, well, I'll submit a photo of myself where I went to a Minnesota Vikings Packers game at Lambeau Field, and thought that would be a good one to submit. And at the time, my boyfriend and I went there together, and we were wearing our Vikings purple representing. And it was memorable because it was the first time Brett Favre went back to Lambeau Field as a Viking. And so, as you can probably imagine, it was quite memorable for the crowd there. And not only that, the Vikings actually won that night. That was very memorable for me. So the contest was, as I mentioned, you submit a photo of yourself, and then kind of people would vote. You get your friends and family to vote, and then you become a finalist by getting the highest number of votes that week, whichever it is. So our photo did become a finalist. Now that came the hard part, because there are many people who were finalists from this contest, and we had to appear in front of a panel of judges and do a crazy variety of things. So basically, there were 3 other contestants that night, and 3 judges in front of us, and we have 5 categories of things that we needed to do. Now the first one was pretty easy. We basically had to show at that night wear your best Vikings gear, show your Viking spirit, and talk about why you're such a big fan. So that one was pretty good. But the second one was a little bit of a challenge for me. They asked that we lead the crowd of audience in singing the Vikings fight song. Now, usually for a big fan like me, it shouldn't be that hard, right? Well, with the nerves that night and the fact that I've never led anyone in singing anything, that became quite challenging and embarrassing. So I had to look at my boyfriend in the crowd and try to kind of sing the words with the group, and so I didn't get a very good score out of 10 from the judges that night either. Now that's 2 categories out of 5 already. The third category, they asked us to do our best touchdown dance. So if the Vikings got a touchdown, how would I show them? And they basically pick a random song. They had to do a little dance in front of the crowd. Now I'm not much of a dancer, so that was even more embarrassing for me than the fight song that I had to lead. So by this point, we're halfway through the contest. I'm thinking there's probably no chance I can win this competition compared to the other people around me. And so I was looking into the crowd, looking at my boyfriend, I'm like, what am I going to do? So the 4th category that they asked us about was, what is your Miller Lite tradition with the Vikings? Because it's a Miller Lite sponsored event. They're the ones that are going to be paying this all-expense trip to Cancun. And so I looked at him in the crowd, and he basically gestured to me, and he had a bottle of Miller Lite, and he's like, you're going to have to chug this and talk to him about our tradition. So I thought, okay, well, I'll give the best I got. So I told the judges that our tradition is before every Vikings game, we'll actually chug a Miller Lite together and kind of wish the Vikings luck in our own way. So I took the bottle of Miller Lite and did something I've never done before in front of a crowd probably about the size. I chugged a bottle of beer in front of the judges. And that really quite paid off for me because I actually got the only full One and only. So, I mean, that was great and all, but in the end, I wasn't able to get a high enough score to win that trip for us. And while I was quite disappointed, I thought, well, if I couldn't do it, I could ask my boyfriend to try. He's a Vikings fan too. So he did, and he went through the whole process and actually won the trip for us. Now, of course, he had to take me, right? I guess he couldn't pick his brother or his mom, because I helped him in terms of getting him there too. So we got a chance to go to the trip together, and it was memorable because of how we got there. And on this Cancun trip, we not only got a chance to experience the warm weather and had our own special winter getaway, we also got to tailgate on the beach of Cancun, where we actually watched a satellite feed of the Vikings playing the Detroit Lions. Now, unfortunately, if you guys remember, in December 2011, we did not win that game. It came down to the wire, although it was quite disappointing we didn't win. The warm weather really helped connect us up. And not only that, the night after that, we actually got a private concert in front of maybe 100 people from the Rocket Club. The Rocket Club is a country band originally from Minnesota. So they got their own little winter getaway with us. They went to Cancun with us. And so overall, that was quite memorable. The reason I wanted to share this with you tonight is oftentimes I found it easier to cope with this yucky winter weather when you start thinking about your special winter getaways. And then the other thing is, remember, next time if you have a chance to enter yourself into a contest, whatever that is, take a chance on yourself, because you never know. You might win your own very special winter getaway.